Richard, tell us about a program that you're proud of that happened over the last year.
All right. Just about a year ago, we were making the move to Microsoft 365 in the cloud, and a number of the operating administrations, modes as we call them at DOT, expressed concern to me that the more we moved to the cloud, that they were unsure as to whether or not our network would be able to handle the traffic. So, and they knew that, and DOT's network is really a collection of 8 or 9 separately architected and designed networks. So I took their concerns seriously, and I hired a company called Decisive, and they came in, and the objective was to sort of do bandwidth capacity planning. And but this is a story of sort of unintended benefits, unintended consequences, because what happened is they came in and installed a technology called Riverbed. And the Riverbed technology allowed us to, for the first time, see all the devices on our network. And we started with the known list of devices that all the operating administrations said, here are our routers, servers, load balancers, here's the IP addresses. And what Riverbed discovered is we discovered about 200 devices on our network that we didn't know about and that we weren't managing, which sounds like a terrible thing to admit, but it was a real eye-opener for the department, because we realized that this federated approach to network management had left us vulnerable. What had happened is, field offices and whatnot around the United States had cowboyed their way and installed devices onto our network, and we weren't managing, no one was managing them, and so it was a huge cybersecurity weakness. The good news is that we used that list to clean all that up, to bring all those, to replace those that weren't, industrial grade routers and switches. We replaced all that, got all our devices up. Now we understand everything that's on our network. We have the ability to log into it, manage it, make sure it's patched correctly, configured correctly. And we also now have the capacity to know if anything is attached to our network that we don't know about, we're instantly alerted and we can take appropriate action. So we set out to do, and when we did get to where we understood, bandwidth and capacity planning. So our original goal was met, but we ended up with this huge side benefit that really changed, I think, the conversation in the department about why do something as fundamental as a network, why are we doing that in a decentralized manner?
Right. Excellent. And how about some of the lessons learned, benefits along the way?
Well, the lessons learned that the old way of doing things doesn't work.
Right.
That if we're all going to be connected to one another, we have to have an architecture, we have to have standards, we have to have robust and enforceable change management processes, and we have to do things smarter than just stitch everything together and hope it all works out.
And lessons learned that you'd like to pass on maybe to those tuning into the show?
I would think that any federal agency that wonders about their network might want to engage in a similar discovery to make sure that you know what's on your network. Don't take it for granted that you know all the devices. Find out.
Excellent point. How do you think we're looking for getting out in front of this issue?
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that, from the story I related to you, I believe that cybersecurity, comes with doing the basics right and doing them well. It's not something you buy and bolt on, but it's just the way you conduct yourself, the way you build and manage your network, your storage, your server farms, your end user devices. And like the story I told you, I think that as we get smarter about that, and we as departments and agencies realize that the interconnectedness of that we all experience, that we like to be able to exchange data and information, but we have to make sure that the way we do our basic blocking and tackling is fundamentally sound. And I think we're getting better at it. I tip my hat to Tony Scott and the efforts he's made around the cyber sprint.
Right.
a real eye-opener for
Well,
us.
it's a way to get it up as a priority, to get attention.
Yeah, and I think, we continue, the high-value asset thing, I think we're doing the right things and looking at legacy IT, and again, stressing the fundamentals, doing the
Fantastic.
fundamentals right.
Fantastic.